Does traditional education deliver or fall short in educating and nurturing children? Introducing Aligned Learning Revolution, the show that confronts conventional norms and presents dynamic alternatives to transform education. Host Kohila Sivas tackles the foundational issues within classroom walls and advocates for holistic learning opportunities. It's time to reveal the strength of the innovative, holistic neuro-growth learning approach that goes beyond conventional teaching or tutoring methods, assuring every learner of a stress-free learning journey to unlock their fullest potential. Now, join Kohila Sivas.
Phyllis, welcome to our podcast today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So you're in the classroom this year. What grade do you teach?
Yes, I teach high school science, 10th through 12th graders.
Now, why did you want to become a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach?
Because I've been working with students and working on really personalizing their educational journey in science and helping them. And as I worked closer with some students one-on-one, I've really enjoyed the experience and seen their growth happen so much that I really wanted to do more with students in creating a better system.
And why can't teachers offer one-on-one? Why not in the classroom?
Because with 30 kids in the classroom, once you spend a lot of time with one person, a little fire breaks out in your classroom. If you are able to spend one-on-one time, then there's other students in your classroom that really have high needs, and you can't take that away. So you only have so much time in the classroom with 30, and you have about 2 minutes per student.
And a lot of the times then as a teacher, you're kind of going home feeling not served your students because you know they need one-on-one help.
Yes.
Your heart is there to serve them, but unfortunately you can't because of the 30 kids and all the higher needs. Kids needs your attention most of the time.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that you feel like there are some that really need your help and you couldn't get to them. And so then you feel bad and you go home emotionally drained because of it. And I really feel the students' emotions when they walk in and know which ones need a little extra attention, whether it's emotional help or the other, but some of them are able to get it and some of them you can't get to in that time frame that you have, which is why I really, really want to work with students and help them at a deeper level.
So what subject did you say you teach?
I teach science. So right now I teach chemistry and green technology.
So in your classroom, how many students are like excited, energized, like intrinsically motivated to come to your class?
Well, I would say there are a few per class who are really intrinsically motivated. I bring a lot of energy because high school students come with a lot of sleepiness. So they definitely...
Let's talk about that. So
they're very tired.
Sleepy. They're very tired.
Yes.
Okay, so why are they tired?
Because of their phones, not getting sleep at night. Some even say that they got a lot of sleep and they don't know why they're tired. So there's a lot of just the kids are just exhausted. I think it's because as high school students, they just don't get enough sleep. They don't go to bed early. They don't wake up on time or at the right time. And so they're completely exhausted all the time. And it could be the excessive screen use as well. And phone use. Phones are always a problem as well.
But there's also, as a teenage years come, they say that the sleep pattern shifts.
Yes.
They want to stay up late, but they want to sleep in, right? This is a pattern. And then apparently there are studies that they grow during that time. Like they want to do that because the growth happens in the daytime and they want to sleep or something, right? So we don't take into consideration what is biologically our body is doing, you know?
Yeah, our schools changed to an 8:35 start because of the studies. So instead of starting at 7:50 or 8 o'clock, the school that I'm at teaches at 8:35, but the students still, it's a struggle to get there.
I think they, like when my kids are all teenagers too, and they're over into their 20s now. I think more like 9:30. I mean, even that's too early. It's around 12 is when it's daytime. When it's morning for them. Like you should see them in the day. Like you have younger kids, right? Your kids are young. Yeah. So when they grow up, you'll see that when they're off on the off days, you don't see them until 12. hitting the kitchen for breakfast.
That's so funny because I was always an early riser even in high school.
Yeah, I am too. I can't sleep past
Yeah.
6 o'clock. I just naturally get up, right?
Yeah.
But as a teenager, you do go through, that's good that your school honored that. It's really
Yeah.
good. But I think they need more than that. And
Oh,
then, do you
they
think
definitely do.
COVID switched anything? During COVID time, they had like these free kind of flow versus more now structure.
Yeah, well, we still had the classes at the certain times during COVID that we had to teach. But yeah, I feel like there needs to be more flexibility, and that's the thing that the students and I actually talk a lot about is the flexibility in school for students and teachers. They just need more flexibility because we get sick, or the students are like, but it's not that I'm not going to do my work. Why do I have to sit here and do it right in this spot? Some students really get high anxiety. I have one student who comes in on my prep because it's too loud in their math class to do their math. And so the kids need more flexibility than we're able to give them in the structure of a 8:30 to 4 p.m. school and the bell schedule and making them move on to the next subject every hour and a half. We have longer periods, but it really does, it puts stress on them. And it's something that the more flexibility for the students is something that I really want to change in the school systems.
Yeah.
Because I believe that once we get more flexible with the students do want to learn. It's not that they don't want to learn. It's that they don't, one, know how all the time, but also it just doesn't work for them the way that it's structured, like a factory.
Yeah, everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
We need to honor that individual needs.
Yes.
Which is what a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach does, honor the individual needs. So when you're in the classroom, how many students actually want to learn science? Is there a drop in the number of students who are wanting to learn science?
What do you mean by drop? Like,
Like,
because I don't teach the junior high classes. So
yeah, like meaning like, are they like excited to be in these classes, or are they forced because they have to have the credit numbers?
there's a significant that are forced because they have to have the credit numbers. And then the ones that you really notice, the ones that want to be in your classroom because they're interested, they're engaged all the time with the material, and they talk to you about it after class. They ask questions, and you can definitely tell the difference. So there's definitely a split between the students who are really interested in it and then the students who have to take it.
Yeah, I find that, I work with a lot of coaches who have younger kids as well. I find that if we can really get this curiosity and the drive for science at a younger age, by the time they hit like high school level, when they come to your class, they want to learn, they want to figure stuff out. They know, science is important. It's part of everyday life for them, that they want to learn it. But whereas I find it too, many of my students say, I just take it because I have to get the credit.
Yes. Yeah, no, and they've proven that if students have a robust science program before the third or by the third grade, anytime third grade and younger, then they'll continue in the science. Like they're more likely to continue in the sciences and be interested in it as they get older and in high school and be a better science student. But if they don't have any teachers that teach science like robustly in their classrooms, then they just lose that interest, which is sad because our children are little scientists to begin with.
Yeah, we're curious about everything.
Yeah.
And that's the time to foster that, right? Really turn it on to the highest degree so that they can look for that. What can parents do at home to foster this curiosity at a younger age?
Parents can actually get science kits and do science with their kids and encourage them to like ask questions about nature, look into things, try things, test different things. My son loves to go outside and he says, Mom, I'm doing science. He loves to mix colors. That's science right now at a 4-year-old level. Mixing colors, seeing what's the next color, what do I predict, what do I think, having the parents ask them questions. Well, why did that happen?
Mm-hmm. And simple as cooking, gardening, shopping.
Yeah, all of it is science.
Yeah.
Thinking,
right?
And talking to your kids and reading the books with your kids is so important to foster that creativity.
Yeah. You have younger kids. What do you do in terms of, I know you grow some, I think I saw you show us some strawberries a couple of days ago.
Yes.
So you have a garden, right?
Oh, yes, we grow. We have 6 fruit trees, and we have a garden. I let the kids pick out whatever they want to at the garden store, and we plant it in the ground and we water it. Right now they got succulents a couple of weeks ago, and they love to watch plants grow and enjoy watching it. They also get to plant seeds and see what happens. After every year we plant all the time, and the kids love watching the bees. That is my daughter's favorite thing to do, is sit and just watch the bees. The other day she told everybody about a big bumblebee that she saw get into one flower and enjoy the flower and ended up yellow after it left the flower. And she said it just loved this flower. It was his favorite flower. And she just sat and watched it for about 10 minutes and watched it pollinate. And they love talking about how they pollinate the different plants and give us fruit. And we continue that conversation all the time. It's like, why do we get to eat this food? And we talk about the bees and the plants and how they grow.
Yeah.
And so we foster that curiosity. We love reading books. We have great books on bees. Say, Give Bees a Chance is an amazing one if you've never read it.
Okay, Give Bees a Chance.
That's a good one, especially for people who are afraid of bees or don't want them around, because they really are so important for our ecosystem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, this is what I mean, like simple things that parents can do, right? As parents can do. It's so much nice, I mean, so much beautiful to, so beautiful for parents to grow a garden, pick from the garden and make a salad or make a fruit salad or whatever it is and have it with your kids. It's so simple.
Yes. And the kids will eat it. They love eating it straight out of the garden.
They grew it. They know what it took to grow that plant. So they will eat it. Yes. Yes. Even if they don't like vegetables.
Yeah. Like they'll try it.
Yeah. One time I planted some tomatoes in a little garden I had, and everybody loved the green tomatoes. And I started making salad with the green ones. It didn't really go until the red.
Yeah.
We didn't wait it. So I took the green ones, but actually that summer, we had green salad with them.
Oh, nice.
It was very tasty, the green ones. They were almost like some of them tasted almost like, it wasn't sweet as apple, but the consistency was like you're biting into an apple.
Yeah, when it doesn't warm up enough, they stay green.
It is green.
We made a lot of fried green tomatoes last year, actually.
Yeah, it's my whole family enjoyed it. And that was just me just saying I'm going to buy a couple of tomato plants and growing it. I've never done it before, but it was amazing. Everybody loved it. So yeah. So if you're watching, summer's coming, right? It's a great time to plant some stuff. Are they late?
And to harvest it. It is a little late, but you can still plant right now. It's still technically spring.
Yeah, if you buy the plant, right? Not the seed plant. Go to all the stores now have thousands and thousands of plants out already.
Yes.
So buy a couple of them and plant it and get your kids outside, get them dirty.
Yes, get dirty. Get dirty. My kids, that's what my sister came over and she's like, oh, that looks really tasty, because my kids love to make mud pies. And I said, you remember how much we love the mud when we were kids? You can't keep kids out of the mud.
How did you become a science teacher? What inspired you?
Well, I've loved science my whole life. As a child, I actually made a little club for the Earth Savers, and we had little shirts. And so my green technology class, I always tell them about that. And I got a chemistry set when I was in 5th grade. And I will always remember that I got a chemistry set and a microscope and different things to like look at things. So the microscope and chemistry set was my setup to become a scientist, really. And so I've always loved it. And I remember those presents the most when I think about my childhood presents and what formed me to become a science teacher and love the sciences. Yeah.
So as a parent, if they're listening, you earlier mentioned buy those kits, right? For Christmas, even buy something that they could do something with their hands, right?
Yes. Do something, make something, experiment with it. The great thing about those kits is they give you little experiments to do, but then the kids like to try something different. So they like to test what happens when they test these two things. And you always want to encourage that kind of experimentation, because once they do the kit example, then you want them to think about, well, what would happen? And then they make a guess. You say, well, what do you think is going to happen? And let them try it. I always let them try it, even in my science classes, even in chemistry in high school. When we're done with an experiment And then they say, Miss Cruz, but what would happen if we did this? And I say, well, why don't you try it? And they love that I let them try the next thing, because they've all, for a long time in classes, and they're told to do it this way, and then they clean up and they can't do anything else. But they love to be able to try something new, because even high schoolers are curious. Well, what would happen if I mix these two instead of those two? And as long as I know it's safe and not going to blow up in their face, I let them do it.
Yeah. Variations are good. That's where the most learning happens, right? Because
Yes.
if they are asking that, they're thinking.
Yeah. That's what I always tell them. I say, if there's something that you're still interested in, ask. And
It's amazing.
99% of the time I'll say yes.
Yes. So how long have you been a teacher in the classroom?
I've been teaching for 17 years.
17 years.
Mhm.
But what you didn't have in that classroom was this one-on-one. You always felt, as you said, empty, that you
Yeah.
couldn't serve everybody at that one-on-one level. And as teachers, we know that they need that help.
They do. And a lot of them do. Some of them are doing great because they have that at home. And
Yes.
I've met those parents, like they talk about their classes at home. Like the parents will come to back to school night and they'll say, oh yeah, we've heard about your class. My student really likes it. And they talk about it at dinner. And when they get that, they get that support and they're able to talk about it all the time. A lot of those students, they're learning about their learning. The parents are helping them at every step and encouraging them and encouraging their mistakes, and experiencing the joy when they're being successful. That's when the kids don't need as much, but those students know how to self-advocate, and they'll ask when they're struggling. They come up and they say, Miss Cruz, I don't think I did this right. Can you help me? And that's what you really need, is students who learn how to self-advocate for themselves, because once they can understand how to do that, then they can excel at anything, because then they know where to get the information or how to get help when they're struggling.
Yes. So if a parent is listening, they're hearing that as a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach, you're able to work with them one-on-one. But more importantly, what is it you do now as a holistic
Learning success coach is teach the kids how to learn, and then also how to get that self-advocacy, learn from themselves and change their mindsets. It's so much around mindset as well. Is when you want to gain the knowledge, you'll do the work that it takes. You'll get there because you want to. And sometimes students lose that when they feel like they're failing. So as a holistic neurogrowth success coach, I help them understand what they can do and where they can go next, and fill in those gaps, because you lose things along the way. Once you're failing, you've lost a lot of pieces along the way, those puzzle pieces that really make the whole picture complete. And filling in those gaps is really, really important for the students to be successful.
And you're able to fill that because you can identify it in one-on-one, personalized, customized format, right?
Yes, in the classroom, you cannot identify where each student's gaps are. So you base it off of an average of the whole class. But with this, you get to actually get to know the student and find those gaps and fill them in and help them along the way, so that they can actually climb those stairs instead of fall down at every other step.
Yeah, absolutely. How about, I had a question. I lost it. What do you like to tell parents about your program? What would you share?
I like to tell parents that it's really based so much individualized to their student, and will personalize it based on what their student needs, and give their student that support that they need. If they can't, a lot of students really struggle to find that support, and having adults, and it's been proven time and time again that having the adults support, and at least one trusted adult that really understands them and knows how to help them, helps students become successful. And without that, a lot of students will fall behind or take a wrong path and not be able to get back to a path that will lead them to where they want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what age group do you specialize in?
I specialize in 8-year-old to high school, so 8 to 18, because really getting into the science and math behind the science.
At an earlier age,
Elementary.
Age.
Yes.
Mm.
Just trying to get them excited about science too. So I have 2 different programs, one for the older kids to really help them fill in those gaps that they don't have, what they didn't get when they were younger, to be successful in chemistry or physics or biology, any science that they're taking in high school or junior high. And then for the younger kids, it's getting them excited about science, giving them experiments and enjoyment from the sciences, and making those connections, like graphing the simple graphs and showing them how science is explained by math. And then they understand, oh, why do I need math? And how the communication between science, and this is also true for the high schoolers, is that communication between, for science, oh, that's why we need to learn how to read and write, isn't to understand how to follow directions, also to communicate what we've learned from our experiments. And that's one that really gets lost, is that science encompasses all of the disciplines, and which is why it's such a good jumping point for me to teach kids, younger and older, the interdisciplinariness of it, because it also brings in history on, like, oh, who discovered this and when, and why was that a big deal that they discovered it at this time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like it. It's even your program is holistic.
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
like to encompass it all and bring everything together so that the students understand, well, it really is, everything works together very harmoniously. We break it up so much in school to where it's like one thing doesn't seem to connect to the other things all the time.
And that's why kids lose interest, right, along the way, because they don't see that connectedness of anything, or even in math, right?
Yeah.
We teach little by little, we chunk it, but then we don't give them that, how do I apply it in my regular life?
Yeah.
part.
Why is it important? Mhm.
Yeah, so I like your program. So that's bringing science and math together, and you are also working with the younger students so that you can get them excited for. That's the part that I think parents, as if I want to stress with parents who are watching us today, is that it's really easy to get our kids excited when they're young.
Yes, it is. They love it. They
Yeah, they're
have
curious.
this desire to learn.
Yeah, they're craving it.
Yes.
Yes, and the less we can separate them from, give them less of the electronics, but get them to be with nature, walk nature walks, as we said, planting, right, shopping,
Yes. Just being
cooking.
outside, making things with nature,
Yes,
collecting things on your walk, and then letting the kids make art with it, painting with the colors of the flowers that you have. All of that it encompasses art as well. It's so much fun.
yeah.
Yeah, getting outside all the time, every day.
Because I find that by high school, I work with a lot of high schoolers as well myself. By high school, really, if you don't have this curiosity built already, you're really struggling to see what is the point? What am I doing? Why am
Yes.
I here? Right? That's why they lose that whole interest, and then add the sleepiness to it.
Yeah.
Forget the school.
Yeah. Yeah. And until they get somebody who they feel really cares, they're not going to try.
Yeah. So if somebody is a parent with an older child is watching us right now, well, how can we help them? Because I know how hard it is to really motivate a teenager, right?
Yes, it really is. I would just say start with the questions.
Questions.
Start with making sure that they know that you're supporting them, however they're doing, and just start with those questions. Like, how was school today? What did you struggle with? What did you do well in today? And they'll start opening up. It might take a few times. It might take
Yeah,
a
that's
week
what I
or
was gonna
two.
say. What if they say,
Yeah.
nothing?
Yeah. And at the beginning they will, but when you keep at it and you keep asking, they'll eventually give up and they'll be like, oh, I guess I got to answer these questions. And then they'll start actually talking to you about it. And once they start talking, it might never stop, which would be a great thing. But it
And-
might also open it up to dialogue on, like, oh, okay, so you're struggling in this. What can we do next? How can I help you? Or do we need
Yeah.
to ask for help? Like, when is it time to ask for help? When is it time to get a coach? When is it time to get a tutor? When has it gotten to the point to where you're thinking we need medical help or educational help in this case? Because that's what we always struggle with. Like, when do we call the doctor? And so in this
Well,
case, when do we
sometimes
call?
it's mental health too, right? Because
Yep.
the more you struggle, sometimes students are struggling mentally because their emotions are not in, quite together
Yes.
anymore, because as you start not understanding classes, sometimes failing a couple of tests, now you feel like you're in trouble, you can't talk to anyone, right? It happens.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. Sometimes you have to check with the doctors too, because you don't know what's going on. I think older parents can also, a lot of the time kids don't, like with our teenagers, I found that certain time they don't want to talk to you. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like my son doesn't like talking after school, but there's time like he'll come and he'll start talking on his own. Usually I'm busy at that time. That's when he does it. It's almost like he does it purposefully. But I
Yeah.
have noticed a pattern, because whenever I'm ready to talk, he's not ready to talk.
hmm
We were missing an opportunity to talk like this. We were mismatched in the way that, the time frame was mismatching,
Yes.
right? So
hmm
eventually I figured out a pattern. He likes to come and ask me things when I'm busy. So then I had to kind of slow down my busyness and listen to him, because instead of fighting him to talk to me on other times
hmm
when he wasn't ready, might as well talk to him when he's ready. So sometimes even observing those things in the patterns with your child helps.
Yes.
They're not, I mean, teenage years are always up and down in moods, right?
Oh yes, they're very moody.
They're fluctuating with their moods. So
Yeah.
it's better to, like after school, sometimes my son will just sit, and if I ask anything in any way again and again, he'll be like, it's okay, it's fine.
Yeah, they'll be very tired after school. They need that break. They need something that
Yeah, they
just
don't want to talk about it. So it's
no.
okay if you're listening, a parent is listening and you want to talk to them, just choose different times and see which one worked better, right? For
Yeah.
me, I don't even know yet what my son and I, like, what's the best time to talk to him yet. But I know that he always comes when I'm busy.
Yeah. So maybe pretend to be busy sometimes and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
at
that's
the
what I
right
have to
time
do.
whenever he comes, like 6 PM or 7 PM.
I have to stay busy so he'll come talk to me. But teenagers are also wanting to make sure that would I give up? Like sometimes they test you, like they
Mhm.
say those things like I don't want to talk to you, but they're testing you. But
Yeah.
if, like you said, if you keep at it, they're like, okay, she's never gonna give up, so I better talk to her.
Yeah. And if they know that you care, like I noticed that about my students. Like eventually they start to open up because I'm always asking them, "Well, how are you doing? What's going on today?" And like they open up, but it takes them a lot longer because at first they don't know if you're genuine and if you
Yeah.
care. And so if they haven't had that dialogue with you in a long time, and even if you've always told them that you love them and you care, you start the dialogue, and then at first they'll be like, is this just, why are they doing that? But then they'll eventually open up because they'll be like, oh, okay, this is real. It's not just, something that is, I don't know, for a day.
Yeah, absolutely. What else would you like to share with the parents who are listening?
That's so key in the kids is that they want to open up to somebody and they hide though because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of rejection from their peers, they're afraid of rejection from you. They're afraid of rejection period because
Yeah.
they're going that's the way their brain is working right now, and so that fear of rejection really makes them close up and not talk to people, and until they feel like they don't have a chance of rejection, like you won't reject them. And as a holistic neuro growth success coach, I never reject the students and they know that from
Mhm.
day one is that you're always on their team and always on their side, no matter what they're struggling with. And though as parents, we feel that they should know that and that they do know that they're always trying to be as good as they can for us if you're their parent. And so that fear of failing you or getting rejected by you or disappointing you is one of those things that hold them back as well. And so it's not always something that's you've done wrong, is that they love you so much that they want to not disappoint you as being your child. And so that is something that also holds them back, is just that fear.
Yes. So you're saying connect with them, communicate with them
Yes.
authentically, take the time. They will reject you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Keep at it.
Keep at it, because once they realize that you're always on their team, no matter what happens, they will open up to you.
Yes. And start the curiosity early for science. And and connect math alongside science. It's easy for understanding science, is what you said too, right?
Yes, helping the students make the connections between science, everyday real world things, and what they're doing in their classrooms
Yes.
or in their studies if they're doing homeschool or out school, whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah. And also you said added that expose them to science. It's all around us. It's not something we need to even go buy. Like, we don't even need anything. Making dinner with you tonight is an experiment.
Yep. And have them write it down. Writing down what you do, say, do you want to try something different in this recipe tonight? And have them write it down and write down what the results are. And that is science. That's an experiment right there in the kitchen with you. And then you guys get to taste it, which is cool. You don't always get to taste things in the lab. And so in your kitchen chemistry lab, you always get to taste your experiments and see if it turned out.
Yeah, those are all very, very powerful messages to parents, because as parents, we always think that, even me, I always think like, oh, I need to make a big grand project with my son. That's a time consuming. I can't do that. I'm busy. We can make a story, right? But these things don't even take time. We have to eat every day anyway.
Yep. We have to eat 3 meals a day.
So involve them, and it's less work for us, right?
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it can be more work because they'll make a mess, but that's also good.
Yeah.
Because you're teaching life skills along with it.
And then they'll want to start helping in the kitchen, helping wash dishes. Sometimes after helping in the kitchen, my 4-year-old son will be like, I want to wash the dishes. Don't wash them. And he won't let me touch them.
Yeah.
And he'll wash them all.
Yeah. Life skills for lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifelong. It's amazing. Include them. Invite them, even if they're grumpy, even if they're sleepy, because if you have teenagers, that's a normal part, but they still want to be connected though. Yeah. Every human wants to be connected, right? Everybody wants to be connected.
They want to be connected. They want to be loved. They want to enjoy it. They want to be there. They want to be present.
Awesome. Thank you, Phyllis. This was amazing. This is awesome. I really learned quite a bit. And I really like the way that you're connecting the math and the science. I think that's very important because I teach math, right? Yes. For me, I always loved science too. I always thought we could create a program where kids learn all the elements in the periodic table.
Yes.
Because then by the time they're in chemistry,
then they already know it.
They already know it. They already know the symbol. They already know the numbers. You know how hard it is at high school to memorize those?
Yes.
Because literally you're pushing to memorize. But if we start in grade 3, grade 2, for those kids, their memory is so sharp, right? They just they're like sponges. They're just absorb. And even if it doesn't 100% make sense, they just know that there's a periodic table. These are elements that are found in the world. Sometimes I can even find them in my backyard, some of these things that, I'm breathing some of these combined elements anyway. That's the, oxygen and I'm in water I'm drinking. Right?
Yeah. One of our favorite jokes is that love is in the air. Nope. It's nitrogen and oxygen.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that program always intrigued me, that the periodic table could teach kids so much.
Oh, it can.
Before they even need it to use it in a content wise, right?
Yes.
It'd be a great program too. And just like times table in math, it's the foundation. Right?
And even using the numbers, because when you're learning your numbers, the periodic table has
all the numbers.
Has all the numbers. So if you're learning 1 to 100, could even start it in kindergarten.
Exactly. Yeah. I never thought about that. Yeah, you can actually start your number system on the periodic table.
Yes.
And before they know, 1 is hydrogen, they'll tell us.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I like it.
Thank you.
I love it. Love your program. I love your mission to serve students in a meaningful way. Have those connections are important holistically. Love it. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me here today. I've really enjoyed discussing it all with you.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Our purpose for this episode was to spark a reevaluation of the current education system. For more episodes offering practical and comprehensive strategies to enhance learning, please visit www.learningsuccessacademy.com. It is crucial to ensure that children have access to the holistic neurogrowth learning approach, enabling them to break free from the constraints of an outdated educational framework. This is your opportunity to gain insight and break away from a flawed system, setting your children on a path to lifelong success that truly nurtures their thirst for knowledge. That's all for now. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode.